Jeff Lair, founder of Engage Marketing, and I help people connect with their market, connect with their audience, their prospects with clear copy and powerful marketing messages. And I want to talk about the one non-negotiable in marketing that is often ignored, and that really is defining your customer. And I'm not sure why it's so hard. I'm not sure why it's so often ignored. I'm not sure what the issue is here, but I just know that it is. Right. And I run into a lot of clients, a lot of people that I work with who are really struggling to understand who their customer is. And as a result, they spend an inordinate amount of time on developing their product, on developing their content, on developing their outreach. And one of my favorite examples is the coffee story, which I probably told in another video, but I'm going to tell it here again. And somebody that I was working with who was importing a container of coffee, and he was trying to sell this to everybody in the country. He said, well, there are 500 million cups of coffee sold every day. We have an amazing product. We want to sell it to 500 million people, or 500 million, 300 million people buying 500 million cups of coffee. And that, of course, is really difficult. It's hard to reach 300 million people. It's hard to get your stuff out to that many people. You really have to find a way to focus. I see this as well with the angels. People come pitch us for angel financing, and they do the same thing. They say, well, it's a massive market. I just have to get 1% of it. And that's their marketing strategy. But that doesn't work as a marketing strategy, because you're not really talking about whom it is you're going after, how you're going to go after them. So the key is to really define who that customer persona is, who that customer is you're talking to. And it's powerful for two reasons. One is, like I'm talking about, it helps you really focus your content, really focus what you're doing around that person and that person's needs, right? The second is it really helps frame the conversation for you as a company. So I just went through this with Red Sapiens, one of my clients, and we really worked on defining 6 key character types that were important to them and important to their market. And their target was really 3 of those. And then there were some others that these 3 would grow into or come from or be connected to, who weren't really targets right now, maybe later, but they weren't really targets. And that really helped us focus, because we had the 3 people who were our targets, one of them our main target, the other 2 around them, and we could talk about that. We could say, hey, is this going to be relevant to Jane? Is this going to be relevant to Bob? Is this going to be relevant to Bill? And that helped us put ourselves in that framework and really connect with what the market needed. And it was also valuable in terms of if we're going off on a tangent, we can always come back to, is this relevant to Jane? Is this relevant to Bill, right? And we always had that filter available to us. And it led to a whole slew of new content while allowing us to weed out all of the content that really was garbage and that we didn't want to talk about. Or if it wasn't garbage, it wasn't relevant to the market that we were talking to, right? Now, from an engaged standpoint, this is key to everything we do. We always start with the customer, always start with understanding who that customer is, and then get into what their need is, what's missing in their life. And there's always some little thing missing. There's something missing. They don't always know it. Sometimes you have to explain it to them, but there's always something missing in their life. And then there's some reason why they can't get that thing complete, why they can't be complete with it. So get to know that and get to really define that customer in more depth as well. What is their life like? Where are they? What do they do? Whom do they do it with? Where do they get their information? How do they get information? All of that is going to help you really understand who they are and what it is you can deliver to them, why they're going to do business with you. So I have a link below to a template that you can download to start working on your persona. Let me know what you think of this video. Like it if you did like it. Like it if you didn't like it. Share it at least 65 times. And let me know what questions you have about marketing, copywriting, and connecting. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.